One of the most awesome things about the fall is the changing of colors in the trees. But what are those colors? What do they mean? What do they do for the tree or the plant? And why do they change? That's what we're going to look at today. Come on. The reason we see green on a leaf, by the way, is because the plant itself reflects the green. The chlorophyll molecule that's responsible for absorbing light actually absorbs the other wavelengths of light. It does not absorb green, which is why you see it. You see, when we have a leaf, and this leaf is green, it's green because of the white light that's coming from the sun. All the different colors are hitting this, but green is the one that hits and is rejected in a sense. It bounces off the leaf. Therefore, green is the only wavelength that makes it into your eye, and that's why you see leaves as green. That's the nature of why we see color. It has to do with what colors are absorbed, we don't see those, and what colors are reflected, we do see those. In the case of chlorophyll, it's green because it reflects it. It's the same with all the other colors that we're going to talk about today. The dominant plant color in plants, of course, is green. It's the one that we're all familiar with. This comes from a molecule called chlorophyll. Now, chlorophyll, there's actually about 5 different types of chlorophyll. There's chlorophylls A, B, C, and D, and there's a bacteriochlorophyll that's found in some bacteria and some other things. But of those 5, chlorophylls A and B are the most common by far. And those are the ones that are responsible for absorbing the red wavelengths and kind of the blues and purples and those wavelengths. Those are the colors that they absorb. That's what the plants are going to use, whether it's a conifer or some of the deciduous plants. That's the color, that's the molecule that the plants are going to use to absorb light energy and use that light energy to combine carbon dioxide with water to form sugar and release oxygen. That's the process we call photosynthesis. So one of the accessory pigments that we find with chlorophyll is a group of colors that are called the carotenoids. It's called carotenoid because literally it was named after the color of carrots. It's the yellows and the oranges. And this is a color, interestingly enough, that is usually with the leaf all through the spring and summer. The color is there. The colors yellows and orange tend to be there all through the summertime, yellow in particular. You don't see it because chlorophyll is so dominant in the leaf that it just masks over and covers all the yellow. Now the yellow is important because it's going to help to absorb certain wavelengths of light to help with photosynthesis. But even more important, in the blazing heat of the summertime, all that solar energy pounding into the leaves can actually damage the mechanisms, the factories that are chlorophyll and that whole process of photosynthesis. The sun's just too overwhelmingly powerful. So what the yellow does is it actually helps to dissipate the heat and therefore protect the leaf so that it can survive in the intense summertime. So the yellows and oranges, that's accessory color number 1. Those are the carotenoids. It is the presence of these carotenoids in the springtime before the leaf is fully greened out that give that forest canopy as you're walking through the new growth of spring. It gives that forest canopy that beautiful golden color. Absolutely amazing. Now, a lot of these colors, the yellows and the oranges in particular, the carotenoids, these colors tend to show up in the fall because as the daylight shortens, the plant, it's too energy expensive to try to maintain chlorophyll if you're not able to be productive and actually photosynthesize. So the plant begins to break down the chlorophyll, which is what shows off the yellows and oranges. However, there's another color, the reds and the purples. These are called the anthocyanins. And this particular group of accessory pigments, group number 2, these guys don't show up until the fall. The plant actually makes them in the fall. Now, It doesn't make sense. If the plant is starting to store away energy, if the plant, store away sugar, get ready for winterizing and doing all that, why would it take the time to make another pigment? Interestingly enough, the reds tend to function, crazy as this sounds, it's believed they're like a sunscreen. They help to extend the life of the plant so that even during periods of shorter daylight, this plant can still continue to photosynthesize even in those shorter days. So the reds, it's believed, appears, one of the ideas is that it appears in the fall to act as a sunscreen to keep the leaf from falling off prematurely to maintain it. Another idea is that the reds tend to attract in birds and other animals because the fruits are ripening in the fall and they want to bring in the animals so that they can consume the fruits and disperse the seeds and propagate this plant in other areas. So a couple different reasons why we have the reds and the purples showing up in the fall. Just one more color to go. The last color we need to talk about is, well, let's see, we talked about yellows and oranges, we've talked about reds and purples, we've talked about green. What other leaf color is there? Brown. That's the leaf color. This is basically the color that is left when everything else in the leaf is pretty much dead and gone, whatever. This is the color of the cell walls, the basic structure of the leaf, and this color is called tannin. It is this color that when you soak these leaves in water and that tannin leaks out, forming what is known as tannic acid, this is what gives tea its brown coloration and its bitter taste. And that's the final color of leaves before, it becomes dirt and feeds next generation of trees. So there we have it. Greens, yellows and oranges, reds and purples, and browns. These are the colors of the leaves. It's when they occur, why they occur, and what they do for the leaf. So hopefully this fall, as you're out in the beautiful creation that we have around us, and you're enjoying those fall colors, those fireworks that God lights off every autumn, when you're out there enjoying that, hopefully your knowledge now of why those leaves are changing and what those colors are doing for the plant will simply increase your appreciation of the beauty that is this great outdoors.